in this lesson, we go ahead and add the eyes to our face. So, like I said before, all we want to do with this part of the modeling is have a very, very basic understanding of the face and the shape. And as you can see, I've gone ahead and just very basic, did some modifications to the head. So very basic stuff, nothing very difficult. And as you can see, I use a lot of the trim dynamic brush, the clay brush, all that stuff. And in order for us to focus on the eyes in this lesson, we actually have to add the eyeballs. It's one of the, easiest things to do, I think, and it really makes a huge, huge difference when trying to construct the eye. So I'm just trying to pull in the lower lid here, and as you can see, undoing, redoing, it's a fairly common thing in any ZBrush workflow where you're just trying to, inch towards that end result. But let's go ahead and use the append function here in the subtool menu. And I'll just dynamesh this at about 8. And I know it may look like it's sped up, but it's not. This is just me working as I'm talking. So dynamesh at about 8 resolution, just take it all the way down, and then scale down your sphere, move it in, there we go. Again, if this is all too much information for you, make sure to check out some of our other tutorials. So mirror in the subtool master, x-axis, and now we have 2 spheres that we can work with, and it's time to get our face to look pretty good. So, adjusting here the shape of the eyelids, that's going to be fairly important. I'm going to make sure I have enough polygons here, so I'm going to up the dynamesh here to about 520. Yeah, this looks pretty good, so it just recreates that topology for us to play with. Using the Damien standard here just to pull out those lids again makes a big difference. I'm going to inflate that lid there, just so we have enough, let's say, meat to work with. Just enough volume, enough clay. And kind of shaping it already to see how it's supposed to look. But again, when we're going to do the eye, we're going to need an image to sort of guide us. So I'm going to import the image here that I have for the eyes. And there we go. This is the image that I found. Let me go ahead and add it to the spotlight and show you guys. It's just a very nice close-up of the eyes. So let me just hide this here, and I'm going to go ahead and scale that up. And I'm going to rotate it just a bit because it's a little bit skewed there. And there we go. So I'm going to line up the left eye, and I'm just going to work on it. So I'm going to move this down, and again, I'm not going to mind that it's going to be symmetrical. But what I'm going to do is make sure to mask the upper lid, and move the bottom one in. That way we can have our little lacrimal fossa in there, and just, our tear duct coming through. Just adjusting those shapes. So as you can see, using an image here is fairly important. Now I have a mask here, so it's not going to really cut anything. So I'm going to undo that mask, and I'm going to probably just do a cut here. So mask, and then cut. I think the best thing to do is use a smaller brush here, and there you go. You make a cut all the way through. That way we can just use some clay brush now and kind of refine that. Pull that out, like so. You see I'm pulling that volume up, and automatically, because I've masked the bottom there, we get that nice little overlap of the lid. And again, we're not looking to make either eye very different right now, but both of them have this eye bag. So if we have it there, then it's a start, right? We're starting to get there. We're starting to do some of the detailing that we need to do. I'm going to pull it out with the dim standard. I'm going to push it back in with the trim dynamic. It's a really cool, easy technique to create eyelids. So if you thought that was a bit too fast, make sure to rewatch that. I'm going to go ahead and turn on symmetry here and scale up these eyes. So here we go. Just scaling this up. And just going to move it in now. It's a bit too much. There we go. Move it in. Okay. just adjusting it, seeing exactly where it needs to be. There we are. And now we can divide this a few times and actually just paint our eyes in there. I think it actually gives you a really, really nice look when you actually use it like this. So if you just paint in the eyes really quickly, and you can use symmetry here with the spotlight, it's really going to give a lot of life to our model. So you can use both different eyes, or you can use symmetry. It's really up to you. But you know, just be aware that he might look a little bit cross-eyed since the image you have might not be perfect. Again, just lining it all up there, and I'm going to see here what I can do with my symmetry. So I'm going to maybe scale this a little bit more. Maybe just paint in this middle area here, and then I can paint out whatever it did with the eyes. So you see it's a little bit off kilter. I'm going to move it towards the center there. There we go. I forgot symmetry, so let me go ahead and repaint that. A little bit more scale. And there we go. So that looks pretty good to me. And as you can see, that already really adds something to it. Now I'm going to use the Zebro paint material. You can find it on his website. Just go Zebro on Google and Zebro Madcap. And I'm going to fill in the eye with the Zebro paint material. That way it's really nice and shiny, and I can see it from afar. And now, you know, all I have to do is pull out that eyelid closer to where it's supposed to be, and I'll be golden. So there we go. You see, sometimes painting it like that gives you a good idea of where everything else is supposed to go, and just kind of fixes everything that you thought you had a problem with. So just inflating that upper lid there, gonna inflate the bottom lid. And all in all, just very minor refinements. We've definitely blocked in our eye to start looking like something, and not just a whole bunch of volume like we had in the past lesson. So as you can see, we have eyes. They look fairly nice. I'm going to add a little bit of the eye bags in there, and yeah, that doesn't look too shabby if I say so myself. I think the forehead's a bit too strong, but right now I'm more concerned about the overall shape is just not quite there. So I'm going to move it, and I'm going to try to sort of mask out this area here and just move in the lower lid closer to that. Get ourselves a better looking profile for the eye. And again, pull it out with the Damien Standard, and then you can smooth it out, and you'll have a nice little plane to work with. So, yeah, this forehead's a little bit wonky, so let's go ahead and smooth it down with the Trim Dynamic brush. That way he doesn't have too much of a protrusion in there. But I think that we've covered the eyes here, and it looks pretty good. So what I'd like to do now is continue refining another feature of the face. So let's go ahead and stop here, and I'll see you guys in the next lesson.